group in the corner.
That cable doesn't work. Or is that the one I just tried? Has that got the splitter on it?
No.
Oh, right, okay. I just
The
tried
splitter one works.
Oh, I just tried it to charge the microphone and it didn't work. Afternoon, folks. Just sharing to a group. There we go. Come and say hello if you're watching. Yeah, there we go. Okay. I think we're done. Should be in. If you can hear the random noises behind, we've just given the dogs some marrow bones refilled with peanut butter to keep them quiet. But they don't eat very quietly. Getting no comments or anything through. So come and say hello just to make sure that it is working. Oh, afternoon. Keto Fitness Club. Hello, Keto Fitness Club. I wonder who that could be.
Chris.
Maybe Chris. Is he off work today?
Yeah.
Right. Although I thought it might be Chris. I thought it might be Dan actually, because this is his recipe, isn't it?
That's too formal.
I suppose it is too formal. Yes. Yes. Right. So I'm making Daniel's recipe. Bit of recipe development. Swedish Style Meatballs. This is my first time making it. Hi, Brenda. So I'm going to give it a bash and see what it's very, I would say similar, but the method is the same as the turkey meatballs. They're cooked in the sauce. Yeah. However, so we've got lean pork, 5% pork. The recipe calls for, and it will be available at some point soon, but the recipe calls for 90-second bread. Now I've got some little rolls that I made yesterday, so I'm going to use these instead. They're very soft little rolls. So rather than make another bread, I'm just going to use that. So mine might be a little bit darker because the 90-second bread is quite a light coloured roll. What do you want? Has she stolen your bone off you? Okay. Right. Anyway, let's get cracking. So firstly, we're going to saute the shallot. And I think the garlic as well, or is it just the shallot? No. Shallot first, garlic second. So, how are we all doing? Have we had the storm yet? We got hit with torrential rain about half an hour ago. The local roads flooded immediately.
Okay.
Yeah, just coming back the back way from the depot, and all the country lanes are flooded. I think Coco has actually stolen his bone. Yeah, she's got, there's one on the floor and she's emptying out the other one. Obviously, her snout can fit a bit deeper. He's looking at me all sorry for himself. No, I can do about it. You let her take it. Okay. It's a multi-layered skin. There we go. So, finely chopped if you want. You are all quiet today. With this, and I'll prep it in a minute, Ella's just going to have some salad with this dish, and I'm going to do Louis some Swede mash. So he's got meatballs and mash. So very IKEA-ish. Right, so a little bit of oil, medium heat, shallots. And we'll just let them saute for a minute. A little bit of garlic. I think we had a delayed response because the numbers are suddenly shooting up.
Oh, yeah.
It was weird.
Well, we shouldn't have any internet problems with the new extender.
No, we bought a couple of extenders because we're having some internet issues around the house. I think those in the hit session this morning would have wished we'd had internet problems.
What was it this morning?
Tough.
Yeah,
it's as simple as that. It was predominantly. Well, it was hi Patricia. It was intensity rather than impactful. So 4 minutes of squats lunges, followed by 4 minutes of core, followed by 4 minutes of squats lunges, followed by 4 minutes of core, and just rotated it around. So side to side squats, and then front walking squats, forward and backwards, keeping low, all of it. Judging from the noises, they all enjoyed it. Right, okay. You just do we need to change that camera angle just a little bit because it's not. Can't actually see the pan. It needs to be a little bit higher and angle it down because it's not in its usual place because I can't put it there. You can go a little bit higher. That's getting better. And now just angle it down.
I wish people could see what the tripod's sitting on right now.
Yeah, the tripod currently is sitting on trays of books because the front room is completely empty because it's been, well, basically overhauled, replastered, repainted, everything. Yes, do lots of kettlebell training. We've done it twice this week actually. So we go to a PT twice a week, and was it Tuesday set? It was, wasn't it? So Tuesday session was kettlebells, and then Wednesday morning my set with the members was kettlebells. So it was fun. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I can't see the question actually because the are the exercise sessions for members? No, they're for members only. So part of the membership is we do 9 exercise sessions during the week. So it's not just me, but Lisa, who's a Pilates teacher, and she does a session called Dance Funness, or a dance set. She does 2 a week. I currently do 7, ranging from kettlebells, high intensity like this morning, low impact, resistance bands, all sorts of stuff. We try and sort of do a variety of things, and we scatter them throughout the week as well. So the only day that we don't have an exercise session on is Saturday. I do a double on a Sunday, and there's one on every day of the week apart from that. Right, okay, I'm just going to blitz these go. Just need to do it a little bit more. Not quite fine enough. That's better. Right. Okay. So, as I said, my breadcrumbs are going to be a little bit darker. Well, definitely a lot darker, actually. Let me just turn that off because they're done and I want them to cool a little bit. So my breadcrumbs are darker than the 90-second bread. However, I'm quite happy with that. By the time we've made the sauce and mixed this into the meat, hopefully won't change the color too much. Right, membership. Yeah, sure. It's so if anyone doesn't know, we have two main groups. We have on Facebook. We have the public Facebook group where we do this a lot, and lots of other free stuff. And the website has all of the recipes and all the information. However, we run a support group, so the members private group. And in that, we are doing regular Zooms. So the Zooms are all based around sort of the three main areas of our lifestyle. So the macros, so understanding the food. We do actually cooking sessions in the members group. So people join in and we all cook together. We do, I think, 3 a week on those.
Yeah.
3 or 4 a week, most weeks. We do the exercise, so the movement. Movement involves not just the PT instruction, and these are all recorded as well. So all of the sessions that we do are recorded so members can catch up on at a later point. But we also have additional Zooms where we actually sort of talk about sort of what other activities we can do and just seeing how people are getting on. And then we do the mindset and the social. So that's pretty much about sort of helping people help change our mind, help change our sort of thinking, help change the thinking to help us change the lifestyle, because sometimes our thinking is the first thing that stops us moving forward. So that's all in the membership. There's a monthly subscription which is just $9.99 and you get everything. There's no levels in the membership. You can join as a monthly, you can join as an annual, you can join as a lifetimer, but regardless of how you join, you will have access to everything. Right, better get on with some cooking. If you, who was it that asked that question? Angela, if you are not part of the public Facebook group, then first step, come and join that. Come and say hello in there, and feel free, ask in the public group, ask the members, because they're all in there as well. You know, whether it's whether they think it's fab. Right, okay, so the recipe calls for that to be cooled down. I'm not going to have time to do that, and to be fair, I've got fingers like asbestos, so I'm okay handling hot things, but I will take my watch off. Fab. Again, come and join. If you're not in the public group, come and join the public group first, and just get a feel for what goes on, because you'll see more of what we do in the members group because of the posting in the public group. Right. Okay. Let me think about this. So in this, we've got the pork and the cooked shallots, the cooked down shallots. Right. Breadcrumbs is going in.
Is that cocoa in our bowl?
Yes, it is. Oh, I haven't got a whole nutmeg, so I'm using ground. So a little bit of nutmeg. Don't want to overdo it with nutmeg. Don't want to overdo it. It's a great spice, but really, this is like 1/4 teaspoon. The egg. Good tough shell. Good farm eggs as well. Great yolk on those. Anything else going into this?
Salt, pepper?
No, yeah, it just says seasoning. I'm just making sure before I get my hands in there, I don't want to sort of miss something out. And a bit of seasoning. Okay. That's my stock. But we're all right. Okay. Give it a good old mix. Now you can use a food processor if you want. If you don't want to get your hands in, then whack it in a food processor. Don't over pulse it. Just give it a few good mixes. You don't want to turn it into a paste.
I feel like one of those cameramen holding the big microphone.
You almost need it on your on an extendable arm, don't you?
Well, yeah, but I need to keep tapping the screen.
Oh, right, okay. Right, so I've kneaded it in basically. So you've got all of the seasoning, all of the breadcrumbs. I always overthink. Yeah, I mean, certainly, definitely, there are certain spices that you have to be quite rigid with. You know, cloves. If you ever use ground cloves and you get that wrong, you've ruined the dish. You can get away with it with things like sort of herbs, but these sort of intense spices. It's not heat either. It's not necessarily it's going to make it unbearably hot to eat. It's just the flavors can be too strong. It can just ruin the dish. As we know, a little of something is really good. Doesn't mean a lot of it's going to be better. It just doesn't. There's a reason why recipes are tested. Okay, just going to reheat. I was going to heat the oil, and then we're going to set these off cooking. I'm going to do Louis some Swede mash to go with his. He's an absolute lover of Swede. I am going to cheat because I'm going to steam it in the microwave. So rather than get a pan out for just this little bit, I'm going to whack it in the cubit, whack it in the microwave. It'll steam in a few minutes. And then I'm just going to use the food processor, the little blender, to make it into a paste, really, or a puree. You hear the rain again. Get rid of that bit.
Can you move the bowl, please?
Yeah, okay. Ella's struggling to reach over.
You just kept moving the Swede further and further.
I know. I'm just trying to, Right, oil's heated, so we'll come back to that in a minute. Let's get these going. So this, I mean, you don't want to go too small, so I've got a big chunk of pork, so there's half. Let's do them into 3, so there'll be 12. You could get 16 if you really wanted, but decent sized meatballs. Don't go too big because then they'll take too long to cook. So 12 or 16s. Medium heat, you don't want to sort of cook these too quickly. So medium heat. Arrange them around the side to start with. Actually, they are quite thick, these.
I did say they're very chunky then.
Yeah, nice. I think I've got a bit extra in this bit. I'll break this one into 4.
Oh, you're going to make an odd number?
Yeah, there'll be an odd number. Well, Louis won't mind. He always gets the extra one. Hello, Karen from Cardiff. You're not from Cardiff, you're in Cardiff. There we go. Okay, we're just going to let them start to cook in there. Now, Swede is a great alternative to replace, and you know, quite obviously, I've just cut it into, well, if I was to do that, you know, you could make some chips out of the Swede. You will never get them to crispen up like a standard white potato, but you can certainly get them sort of nice and crispy. Don't worry, the odd numbers always go to Louis. It doesn't matter. He gets portioned out. 60% of the food goes to Louis, and the other 40% is distributed between me and Ella.
Louis took that literally with the amount of chicken fritters left in that fridge.
Yeah, he did.
I was like, what's 6 divided by 2? 3. Well, why'd you take 4 then? There were 2 tiny ones as well. They were measly. He took the 2, you know, the big ones he made at the end.
Yeah. You need to start putting it in a special tub for him. You can eat these, but you can't eat anything else.
I purposely didn't tell him about them. I buried it with plum orange and trifle.
Right. That's about half a Swede that I've just diced. I'm going over there for the kettle. I'm actually looking for a kettle. We haven't had a kettle for ages now. Little splash of water, and then I pop it in the microwave with a cover on. There we go. Christina is the Louis in her house. Well, you just sweep up all the random food that's in the fridge that other people leave behind. So, just going to give them a quick flip over. They're starting to go golden brown. Get them. You can just about see into the pan. Beautiful. Right, okay, so you can just about see that. They've all got a nice golden brown on one side, turned them over. Going to let them sort of just seal on the other side, nice and gently. Right, so yeah, once they're sealed up, once they've gone brown on both sides, I've got some stock. So this is beef stock. It's my own homemade with bone broth, which I made many moons ago, and I keep it in the freezer in these little pots. You could use a chicken stock if you've got some chicken. If you ever roast off chicken thighs and save what ends up in the tray, let it separate. The fat will come to the top, the liquid will go to the bottom. You've got yourself some nice sort of chicken stock there. Otherwise, you can get I went to Asda earlier in the week to do some shopping, and you can get some okay ready-made stock. So it's got a tiny bit of sugar in it, but nothing too bad at all, apart from that tiny bit of sugar. So you can buy some stocks that are okay. Stock cubes are always going to have fillers in them. I can see you in the camera.
I'm trying to get a good shot.
I can see myself 3 times over. That's it.
Can I do that?
Yeah. So stock cubes are always going to be an issue because they're usually filled with junk. So you have to be careful. So just think ahead. If you're ever, roasting a joint up, or I've got some pork stocks. So I boiled a pork shank down. Save the stock. It's not difficult to actually sort of save this. This is a waste product almost. So it's not difficult to save it, to freeze it. So the remaining ingredients to go in here are the stock. So I'm going to need to add a little bit of water to this because the recipe calls for about 300 mils. Mm-hmm. But this is super strong. So when I make my bone broth, I then reduce it down so it is very strong. So I can now add water to this to, bulk it out a little bit. I've got some Dijon mustard and I've got some sour cream. That's going to create a nice gravy in here. And obviously, again, we've cooked everything in the pan, so we're going to retain all of those flavors. Just want to make sure that they are sealed all around, almost. Now, it's quite an exciting afternoon for us today because very shortly I'm having a meeting with the chef who's going to be preparing all of our food, or nearly all of our food, for Festival. Him and his team are going to be running the kitchen for the day. They are going to be making in fact, it's pretty much all going to be made at source on the day. So we're just going to sit down this afternoon, and now we're getting close to, we're 3 weeks away, aren't we? 3 weeks tomorrow.
Sorry, I was really zoomed in on your face
then. 3 weeks tomorrow is Festival. I have no idea when we first muted this. When did we first talk about it?
On our birthday. April 26th.
No, that's when we talked about it publicly.
Oh, sorry, I thought that's what you meant.
No.
Well, first last year, but didn't start planning it until maybe February or something when we.
Yeah. So we've been thinking about this, and obviously it's had to be held until we get out of the lockdown situation. And when we sort of announced that we were thinking about doing it, and we were just gonna, it was just gonna be a group of us in a field at one point, maybe with a tent and a barbecue. And now we've hired Brampton Grange. It's not a tent; it's a marquee that can hold 500 people. It's not just a barbecue; it's a daytime barbecue buffet and an evening dinner party. It's cooking demonstrations and presentations, and we've got Dr. David Unwin and Dr. Jennifer Unwin joining us to do some presentations, and we've got public health collaboration ambassadors joining us as well. It's fair to say it's nothing like what we imagined at the beginning. So it's the next 3 weeks, there's so much to do still. There's so much to do. But it's going to happen. Right, I'm happy with the way these are cooked now. They've sealed all the way around. It's on a medium heat, so I'm not trying to, they're coloured, but they're golden. Yeah. And they're going to carry on cooking in the sauce as well. So let's get the stock in. I'm going to add some more water to that. Yeah, thanks, Jim. So let's get the heat up just a little bit, although it's pretty hot. these pots are just about 100 mils, so I've put in 300 mils of stock in there. Yeah, I mean, we're hoping it's a brilliant event.
It will be.
It will be a brilliant event. I mean, it'll be great. It'll be great to get together with. I mean, it's predominantly members that are coming. We announced it to the members first, and they just sort of started changing their holiday plans and all sorts of silly stuff. But it'll be great to actually meet up with the group of people that we've sort of grown with in the last year, and we've got to know really well. You know, that's great, Patricia. I mean, there are still daytime tickets available. Daytime is open to public. The evening is effectively a members only event, and it's pretty much sold out. There's a couple of tickets that, as people's the plans change. Some are able to go on holiday, so they've bought the Kettle tickets and then having to sort of do them, and we're still refunding if people do have a change of plans. No, Jason, I've done events all of my life, effectively, all of my adult life anyway. And they're always the same. You always wish you had a bit more time, but it doesn't matter because you'll always be in that situation. And what happens on the day happens. And I've done enough events to know that a lot of it is out of your control. You know, we're putting up a marquee that will hold 500 people. I'm hoping it's going to be a glorious day, but who knows? If we get a day like today, we're going to need that marquee quite a lot. We're going to be sheltering. Right, so stock is in. We're going to bring the stock back up to temperature. That's going to obviously help cook the meatballs more, and it's going to stop them drying out. Because it's a 5% pork mince, if you carry on frying them, they will go dry. Right, we're going to bring Kestival to you then. Not this year.
That's a request.
Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. Though.
Yeah, we're gonna come to you. We just need to work out how to get out of the country. That'd be amazing. Right. Stock is in. Gonna let it cook for another 5-10 minutes, and then we're gonna add the Dijon mustard, and we're gonna add the sour cream.
Here's a thought.
Actually, go on. What was that?
Patricia.
Patricia.
Where are you?
Yeah, Patricia. I don't.
Maybe some members can help.
Yeah, if you ask in Patricia, if you ask in the public group who's going to Kestival, there's lots of people travelling around the country, and they're travelling together. So don't think that you can't get there if you're by yourself. There's a lot of members travelling from Scotland, from the south of the country. Obviously, we're bang in the middle of, well, sort of Northamptonshire, so we're fairly central. There's groups coming from Wales, groups coming from Devon. So if you need a little bit of help in getting up here for the day, then just ask in the members in the public group. Right, so needs a little bit longer. That was on for 9 minutes. Needs a little bit longer. And definitely what it does need is salt. Although I can salt it more when we get to turning it into a mash.
Not far from Warwick.
Oh, you're not that far. No, not at all. And actually, a little bit north of you, but there's a couple of members coming from Rugby. Actually, there's John and Nikki. Although they're staying overnight. They're close by. Again, just ask Patricia in the group. I'm sure there'll be other people travelling. So don't feel like you need to miss out because you can't get there by yourself. A tour to Scotland. Jim, we were coming to Scotland before we got locked down. We had planned lots of workshops, so the much smaller scale than Kestival. And we've got obviously a big contingent in Scotland, so lots in Aberdeen, lots in Fife, to the side Glasgow. So there's a fair few. In fact, there was a Glasgow meetup last week. So there's a fair few sort of up there, and we were coming up. We were going to do Stirling.
I can't remember.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're going to do Stirling. We were being guided by the members as to where to come to, somewhere where they could sort of drop in. But yeah, we're definitely coming up to Scotland at some point soon. It wouldn't be with the travelling Kestival because that's a bit big to carry with us. But
it's not a pop-up circus.
It's not a pop-up circus, but we'd definitely be coming up as a workshop style thing. Patricia, if you need any help with that, talk to Chris. So again, ask the question in the public group. Talk to Chris. Both Chris and Dan will help with working out best trains. They work on the trains. They understand how these things work. So talk to Chris. But otherwise, somebody in your area could be coming, and it'd be great if we can car share. Not done a food. Do you know what? I had a Costco card a couple of years ago and then never went. It's not local to us. That's the problem. It's an hour journey just to get there. We went in once. We had a look round. I used to go for a different business. I could do it going again, but that's the problem. You need to have a membership card, don't you? So,
maybe we make that something we do in Scotland because Chris has one.
True.
So stay tuned for 6 months' time.
Who do I know that lives in Milton Keynes has got a Costco card? Let me know, and I can come and do a shopping with you. I'll buy you a coffee, not from Costco. No, not from Costco though. There's a Starbucks around the corner. All right. I've just upped the temperature a little bit, just to sort of reduce this sauce down a little bit. Meatballs are going to be now cooked. We're pretty much done. Okay. Let's do these finishing bits. Right, Swede is definitely cooked. That had 12 minutes in the microwave. It is steaming hot.
This isn't on purpose, but every time you take a sip of your coffee, the mug ends up where it should be in camera shot. We've got a travelling logo around the screen. I'm just a pro. Really, I don't think that.
Oh dear.
Normally it's your pink ninja cup.
Yeah, true. Salted butter, a big blob of it in there. Oh, I put the thing away, didn't I? Let me get the Dijon mustard in here and we can finish it off. So I think it's about a teaspoon, but I suppose this is very much down to, it says half a tablespoon. Dan, you like your mustard.
Only 1.5 teaspoons.
This is down to individual taste. How much? Now the stock has reduced a little bit. Dijon mustard. I've got less than 1/3 of a pot of sour cream there. I'm gonna. Here it goes. Now, if I was a pro, I'd have some fresh herbs, but I haven't. To sort of dress it with.
Got some chives.
I suppose the chives would work actually.
That looks great.
Yeah. Well, I'm just going to let that cook through for a minute. Just get the flavours going. Let it reheat. There we go.
They are whoppers of meatballs.
They are chunky meatballs. They are chunky meatballs. That's all good. One more.
Do you put any cream cheese or anything in it?
No, I've just put a big blob of butter in it. There's enough creamy sauce there, isn't there? I'm gonna plate Louis up to sort of. There we go. Have you used the chives?
I didn't use them all.
They're not in here.
Maybe Louis used them.
Louis wouldn't use chives. Okay.
I'm becoming the parent. Did you look properly?
I did. Well, obviously not enough.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. That was properly in camera shot then.
Right, so here we go. This is Louis.
Can I have a little portion of it, please?
Yeah. So, nice big dollop of Swede mash. Do with that. Hang on a minute.
Yes, Emma. I agree.
I have no idea what you're on about. Beautiful. There you go. Not bad for a 16-year-old's dinner, is it? Swedish meatballs with a Dijon mustard gravy on Swede mash. Have we worked out the macros of the meatballs? I know it's not going to be much. I know it's going to be much. I mean,
so 4 portions, which would be 3 of those meatballs each.
Well, that's 4 portions.
So how many have you got?
Well, I suppose he's got the extra one, hasn't he? He's got the extra one, yeah.
Yeah, so even 3 larger meatballs, or what we would probably do next time is 4 smaller ones.
Yeah.
Hang on.
So Louis probably got about 250 grams of Swede, which, if you work it up, is about 10, 12 grams of carbs, something like that. So
if you divide that can by 4, so not including the Swede mash, 400 calories, 3.6 carbs, 22.5 fat, over 40 grams of protein.
There you go, folks. We'll call it 15 grams of carbs for a 16-year-old boy. Yeah. Don't be afraid of having a few of those lovely, veggies. Swede is a great one to use as a replacement, especially on a winter's day like today when you need stodge.
30th of July.
Yeah, 30th of July. when the heating might go on and you have to wear wellies to go to the fields. There you go, dinner. Enjoy. Good man, Jim. Enjoy it. We shall see you next week. If you are not part of our Facebook group, because that's where we do most of our stuff, then come and join it. Keto Fitness Club public group. You're more than welcome to come there and ask questions, and you'll get proper answers. We don't allow keto police, and you get to sort of hang out with the other 13,000 that are in there. So who's doing what tomorrow, or is there anybody doing anything tomorrow? No.
We're back for a Q&A on Sunday evening.
We're back for a Q&A. Oh, these are always fun. Q&A Sunday afternoon. Oh, is that evening? 6:30. Like
6:30.
Yeah, Q&A 6:30. We'll be live on Facebook page and YouTube for a bit quick Q&A. Right, catch you later, folks. You got the most. Bye.